Hello everyone, Thatlowdsg here, back with yet again another Mustang video, of course, and today I'm going to show you guys how to square your K-member. You should definitely not skip this. If you install a new K-member, really recommended that you should try this or do it at least. So the tools needed for today's job, you just need a mallet, some string. I would get at least 2 plumb bobs, you don't need 4. You could do it with 1, but it just makes your life a lot easier if you have 2. A Sharpie, some masking tape, tape measure, and these potato chip bag clip holders. Yes, you will need these. They will be useful. Trust me. We're going to need to level the rear with the front as much as we can. So let's raise it and support it using jack stands. Alright, so I went ahead and drew a little diagram. This is going to be the rear end. There's the differential and the tires. And this is going to be the K-member. Not very good. The control arms and the wheels and whatnot. We want to make sure that where we measure from up here to back here, front to back, is equal or within 1/16 of an inch. Same with the other side. We're going to measure from front to back on both sides, see what we get, and then we're going to measure from diagonal across on both sides. So let's say if we were measuring from diagonal across and we started on the passenger side, and this one from the passenger side was off from the diagonal measurement on the driver's side across, then we would need to move the K-member towards the driver's side. So if this diagonal measurement is not equal with the other diagonal measurement starting from the driver's side, we're going to have to push the K-member towards the driver's side a little bit more using the mallet. Vice versa, so if you're on the driver's side measuring diagonal and the other side does not match up, that means you need to push the K-member towards the passenger side. For the front to back, if this side is, for example, 60 inches and this side is 59.5 inches, you could either push the K-member up on this side a little bit, or you could push the K-member back on the driver's side. Hopefully this little diagram helps you out. It's not perfect, but nothing's perfect. So now that the car is jacked up and raised in the rear, we're going to find a fixed spot in the rear on the body. I would not recommend doing like the suspension, like the control arms or anything. Bushings get worn out, they can move, whatever. So you want to find a fixed spot. I already found a spot that I already kind of like. I've already got the plumb bob hanging up and it's already masked off and ready to go. But let's go on to the other side and I'll show you guys that process. So on the rear, we're gonna find a fixed body panel, and a spot that I found that I like was right where this lower control arm is, right kind of where the torque box reinforcement would go, is this hole right here. Not this small one, but this one right down here. That's where we're gonna hang the plumb bob from. I did this on the other side and it worked out pretty well, so we're gonna do it on this side as well. So we're just gonna thread the needle, get the string around. We're gonna get that around that brake line right there, and then we're gonna drop it as much as we can to touching the ground. This is where this chip clip will come in handy. I'm just gonna try and see if it'll hang like this maybe, and this is just on the brake line. It's not gonna hurt it. This is a string and a chip clip. Easier to hang it to the side when you pull the string off instead of holding it from here, because then it gets way too much tension on it and it just pulls it off. So now I'm just gonna get a little bit of masking tape, and then I'm just gonna set it on that for a second. This doesn't have to be perfect or whatnot. We're just gonna draw a circle. It doesn't have to be straight in the center. You can see I've got about maybe a finger of gap from the plumb bob to the ground. Once the plumb bob settles down, we're gonna place this tape underneath it. We're gonna set this dot right on the plumb bob, right? And then from there, we're just gonna set directly down. And that's gonna give us a really accurate reading of this plumb bob. Smack dab right on. Driver's side is now marked up and ready to go. On the passenger side here, there's the same exact mounting spot, and I've already got it marked up. Good to go. Alright, so we're on the front driver's side now, and we're gonna find a spot on this K-member that is fixed where we can hang it from. I was thinking probably this circle right here where the control arm is gonna rest. There's not really any other good spots on my K-member. As long as you find a fixed spot where you can hang it from, that'll be fine. So just like we did before, on the rear, thread it through, get the plumb bob off the ground a little bit. And then once you've got it a little bit off the ground where you like it to be at, grab our chip clip. Once the plumb bob settles again, we're gonna use the same masking tape with the dot in the middle, or as close as you can get it to where you like it. And then we're gonna rest it up against the top or the tip of that. And you're just adding a little bit of pressure to it, and it'll stop it. And that allows you to just lay it flatly on the ground, right where that plumb bob would sit. Clean your floor before you put this tape down. It's like there's some stuff trapped up underneath it. So with the front and the rear marked up, now we can actually begin to take our measurements from the front to the back and the diagonals. We're gonna measure the front to the back on this side first. right on the dot there. So it looks like this is about 75 5/8. And I've got another diagram I'm going to draw. So this is going to be the passenger side from front to the back, and that was 75 5/8. So now we're going to do the same process on the driver's side. Once we get the measurement dead in center, looks good on there. I'm just going to line this straight up. So this side is at 75 3/8. Alright, so back to the diagram. So the passenger side from front to back was 75 3/8. Okay, so now we're going to start on the passenger side again, and we're going to go the diagonal, so from this measurement to the rear measurement back there. Just like we've been doing. Alright, that's lined up over there. 83 3/4. So from diagonal it was 83 3/4. Okay, so from the driver's side to diagonal, so going that way, I'm using this as the starting point, so we're going from that way to that way. It was 83 3/4. Okay, so starting from the driver's side, now we're going to go diagonally across to the other rear measurement. Let's get this centered out. That's good. Alright. 83 5/8. So that's actually really good measurements. Back to the diagram again. So we started from the driver's side and we went towards the other diagonal measurement. And that was 83 5/8 of an inch. Alright, so got a little diagram on here as well. Front to back on the driver's side was 75 3/8. So here's 3/8 on the 16th. And our passenger side was 75 5/8. So this is 5/8. So these need to be in between here. So it needs to be at least 8 or 1/16 of a difference. So we're literally only 2/16 of a difference off. So it has to be within 1 1/16. What this means is that we can either push this side forward, or we can push the passenger side backward. So moving on to the diagonal now. So we have from the passenger side to the driver's side rear, it's 83 3/4. On the scale, that's right here. From the other measurement, from the other side, from the driver's side to the passenger side rear, that was 83 5/8. And that would be right here. Only 2/16 of a difference off. So now we have the option to either move the K-member to the left or to the right, whatever direction I feel, whichever is easiest. With all your measurements done, this is where you would take your good old mallet and say, you know, you needed to move it forward, you would just tap it forward. This process will be different for every K-member, every different type of K-member, different car, but this is a universal thing, you know, getting the measurements done and whatnot. But as far as determining if you need to hit it forward or hit it backwards to bring it backwards, that is going to be on you to decide to get it within the 1/16 of an inch. A good tip, so you'll never have to align this thing again, drill a hole with a bit through the K-member on both sides. It doesn't really matter where, and you're going to drill it through the K-member and through this frame rail up here. So that way, if you ever have to take this thing out again or drop it or whatever, you'll have the exact measurement because you'll be able to line it up with the hole that you drilled in. That's just a little tip I found, so you don't ever have to do this measurement stuff again. But now your K-member is officially squared. Then you can go down and torque everything down. I'm still trying to find the torque measurements for my specific K-member, but I believe the factory ones are the upper frame mounts are 89 foot-pounds, and I was seeing online the lower frames, I've seen measurements from 64 to 72 foot-pounds. So I'm gonna try and find an exact one. You should definitely try to find what K-member you're running. So if you're running a UPR one, you might want to find the UPR torque specs. If you're running an AJE one like mine, you want to find those. And if you find those, hit me up because I don't know where they are. So I'm gonna torque it down probably just to 89 foot-pounds on the upper frame and then 72 for the lower, just as a baseline for now. And you may need to remeasure it when you torque it down. It may move it back a little bit. I am so excited now that the K-member stuff is kind of done. I still have to torque it down. That means I can put everything back together and get this car running again for now, because I have some future things things that I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to have to put it back in the garage and work on it again. But that's okay because more content and there's a lot more stuff coming for the channel. Some of these next videos are going to help out a lot of people. This is a very common issue with these cars. I'm going to be replacing the heater core, so I will have to rip out the entire dash, and I'm going to shoot it in the easiest way possible, taking the dash out as one piece, not the nightmares you see where people are ripping the dashes out in bits and pieces. This is going to be a one-piece dash removal, so stay tuned for that one. And there's some front suspension stuff coming. It's already here, and I'm smiling because I'm going to show you what it is. So opening this up right. That is right. So we did get some coilovers, and I'm so excited because I've wanted coilovers on a car for so long. You guys don't know. I did get these from BC Racing. These are BC Racing coilovers. These are the BR series with the Swift Spring upgrade with custom spring rates. So yeah, this is just a little sneak peek. The next video will be the front suspension install, but mainly how to install coilovers on your Mustang. And I am so excited, beyond excited to install these. But that's enough talking. Let's get to the outro. If this video helps you out, make sure you guys leave a like on the video. And if you have any questions, meet me down in the comment section below. I'm always eager to answer any questions that you guys may have, or if I can help you guys out in any sort of way. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing because I will be having a lot more content on the way for the Mustang and just a lot of car stuff in general. 2020 has been a very weird year, but it's honestly been a really great year at the same time for me. But again, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out. And maybe in the next video, the Mustang will be running, like actually moving. It'll run, but driving. You guys get what I'm saying. All right, peace out.